Alright, this morning we are looking at ADHD, Cobra. Right now it is at 4 times the average volume, just 5 minutes into the opening bell. And it is currently pushing. Not really sure where the high is at this point because it's trending up still. For the 50 EMA, it is right around 145. We have alerts for anything under 150. And yeah, this looks like the volume winner so far. And we're just going to keep an eye on it and see where this chart leads us. Alright, looks like the first resistance is right up at 215. And our 150 buy target is still looking good. Alright, buy-in target is now at 165. We're actually going to raise that to 170. Found a little floor here at the 190s, but it doesn't seem to be that strong of a floor. So hopefully it can continue downward from here. Alright, ADHD is losing quite a bit of steam here. Our buy-in target is just under 175. Well, actually, that's alert, but buy-in's right around under 170. And it's kind of stepping down here. But there is also another chart I would like to look at that's coming up in the volume. One moment. Alright, so this is IMMY Pharmaceuticals, IMMY. And right now it is just about a little over 6 times the average volume. Our target is right around the $2 range, maybe underneath the $2 if we can get there. But this one has picked up a lot more volume than ADHD. We're just going to play both charts for now, and we'll see which one alerts us first for the buy-in. Alright, it is getting near to our buy-in target. We want under 175. And yeah, it looks like it might just get there. The volume is dying off quite a bit, but it's the only way for something to trickle down is when the volume starts dropping off. But hopefully we can get ourselves a couple shares under 175. Alright, we were able to grab some at 174. And we're just going to play this chart out right now. I threw up the roof at 180 because level 2 has actually quite a big resistance after 180. But we'll see if we can't change this trend up and try to retest the high of day. If not, we'll be able to buy more under the 100. Alright, so we were able to buy at 174. It is past the 180. And it's trending back up now. Sell target looks like 190. We'll go for 187, above 187. But it looks like we timed it perfectly. We'll see what happens. And just a quick reminder, we do have a stop loss at 175. Just in case it drops below our 174 average, because this chart, unless it starts trending back up, it looks like it just wants to keep going down. So we'll see if we timed it. And if it does break our stop loss, we're going to go for the 100 EMA instead. IMMY or IMMY is also getting down in the 50 target. Looks like under 215, as close to $2 as possible would be a nice average to have. And it's trying to get down there. Let's see if we can't get back in ADHD's chart right now. We are trying to push over 185. It got rejected. We might get stopped out here at our 175. If that happens, like I said, we're going to aim for the 100. Um, yeah, we'll see if we can't bounce along this 50 trend line. But yeah, volume's still good. Daily chart looks good. And we're going to continue to play this. And we'll see where she takes us. And as far as imprimis goes, or IMMY, we weren't able to get any just yet. Our under 215 buy-in target is still what we're aiming for, but it looks like we might have just missed it. And as it pushes over 230, hopefully the bears can put a stop to that, because it is a decent resistance that we can shoot for right around this channel. But the volume bars are still good. These are the ADHD and imprimis are the volume winners of the day, so we'll see if we can't drop below 210. Well, it looks like imprimis is taking off without us. Didn't get below the 50, and it's trying to push over to 240 now. Our buy-in target is under 220. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to pull the trigger on any of those dips. It's important to follow your own rules. So, I mean, I try to stay within my own system for the most part. And unfortunately for ADHD, right here, it dropped and took our 175 stop loss out. There goes our 174 average. Still got alerts for under 174. Either way, volume is dying off. So, like previously stated, we're going to aim for this channel right here. More or less likely it'll get down there. Alright, so we were able to get some more at 174. Actually dropped down to 173. We'll see if this mini floor can't hold. Well, unfortunately, IMMY was the play of the day here. As you can see, it just took off to retest the high day. Our 50 is following suit. Buy-in alert is under 225. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait for the next downtrend. But this chart looks strong, and I guess this is where most of the day traders are. It is just rocketing past that HOD. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait for the downstroke. Alright, for so ADHD, we took a little bit of a dip under our 174, but it stopped around 170. No need to buy there. That would not have helped our average. And we popped over to the 177, 178 area. I'm going to set a stop for 175 again and just focus on IMMY for now, because this chart is losing volume and it doesn't seem like it wants to go back up to test the HOD. So I'm going to switch over to IMMY and focus on that chart. Also, before I switch over to IMMY, I just want to clarify why I'm ditching this chart, even though it is top of the volume right now. Switch over to the 1 day, and this is where we are right now. We are under support, so there's all this gap that it could drop down, and there's nowhere else to go until you hit 140. So because we broke support right here in the 180s, I've got really no confidence in this chart anymore. Alright, back on IMMY now, and went all the way up. I forget, what is this? Looks like 270. All the way up to 270 from 220. So we're getting a little bit of a downtick here. 50 as sitting at 237. And yeah, we're just going to wait till it drops under there. We'll get alerted. We'll see how level 2 looks. But most likely we'll be able to buy in again. And we'll see if we can't keep this trend going, because the daily does look okay. Let's see what the daily is. popped out of nowhere. I mean, it can go is up to $3 today. So let's see if we can't get under there. Oh, it's getting there. Gonna have to pause here. All right, so we were able to actually, I might have overpaid by a few pennies, but we were able to get just a few at 243. I wanted to buy in there because it never dipped below the 50 on the previous downtrend, so I just took about a 50% shot on 243. Either way, we'll be able to double down under the 50, and I just wanted it just in case this was the drop. And see if we can't go back up. If not, we'll go under the 50 and we'll have a decent average still. Oh, and I've lowered the first resistance over to 250. If you can get over 250, I'll start setting stop losses. But right now, it's going to be stuck in this little channel, and it'll decide if it wants to dip below here, which would be great for us, or it could just continue upward, and we won't be able to have as much shares, but we'll be able to lock in that run with some key stop losses along the way. All right, so it dipped below the 50 and dipped under the 100 a little bit. We were able to buy some at 226. So now our average is over here at 234. Not too bad of an average. It might go a little lower, might even test this $2 floor. But I mean, this is the downstroke, so this is what you got to deal with. You just got to know how to scale into position, scale out when you need to, so you can keep that average as low as possible. And we'll see how far she goes. All right, so we were able to pop over our average of 234 and sold half at 236. So now we can focus on doubling down some more, getting that 234 average as low as possible for the day. Or if it decides to retrace to HOD, I'm perfectly fine with keeping that average. But looks like the lowest it went was 220. So anything below that, we'll be able to buy even more and be on the safe side of this trade. All right, it took a while, but our 234 average right here is looking all right. We hopped over 240, which was acting as resistance before, and now we're going back on the uptrend. I'm going to set a stop loss at 235 and just let it run. All right, we sold some at 250, 240, and we got stopped out right here, but we rebought at an average of 232. Yeah, I don't know why it dropped so hard right there. Most likely stop losses. But we are back in at 232, not a bad average, and we'll see if we can't pop right over again. All right, so shorts really have taken control over this thing. We were at 232, and I was just I was sticking around that average. I thought we'd get over it, but shorts have taken over, and we were able to buy down here at 212, I believe. What was it? Actually 213. So now our average is 222, and yeah, we'll see if we can't get out on the short cover. It doesn't seem like this thing is going to retrace and better trades in the future, but yeah, we should be able to get over 222. If not, this 250 or the $2 range should be a pretty nice floor. All right, wow, this was one of the most stressful trades ever in a long time. We ended up breaking even, which is, just a godsend considering I was over 10% down at one point with over about four double downs, I believe. My last double down was around 189. Right up here. and it got my average down to 201, and it popped right over 201 or 201, 202 area right at the last 30 minutes of the day. But yeah, I had several chances to get out, honestly. I mean, I could have gotten out right here at 222 to break even. That was my original average was around 222. So I doubled down right around here in the 190s, and brought it down to, I believe, 213, something like that. And I just kept doubling down. I doubled down on the 193, and just I think my highest average before I hit the 180, 189, 189 was, I think, 214, honestly. Yeah, that was my highest. That was a really high average for me because I was at 222. I had to double down around here at the $2 mark, double down again, and it's super important to be able to scale into your position. You don't want to start a position where you can't continually try to work on that average. And I mean, I got lucky this time. Not gonna front. I got real lucky. This right here was the kiss of death. Once that 100 kills the 250, that's just so much bear pressure. And you can see how the peaks were just no way it was passing over the 100, and it was just barely cracking the ones or the 50. So I knew I had at least the end of day short cover, considering it's been literally on a downtrend for the last few hours. I knew at the end of the day, the short day traders would at least cover a little, and I was expected to take a loss here. No lie, I was definitely gonna eat it. It wasn't looking good when it was no volume down here in the 186s, 187s, but you gotta have balls to double down sometimes, and yeah, got saved by that 201. Look at this candle. It stayed above 201 for probably 30 seconds before it's already back down again. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it cracked it just one more time, but man, thank God for the short cover. Day trading shorts, I salute you. You destroyed this chart. We're going to have to rethink our strategy here. And I don't know why I stayed into it. I mean, I usually set a pretty standard stop loss after a set time. I kind of forget what happened here. I think it was on this drop that I got trapped into a bad average, and I really should have sold right here at 222. But you know, at least we broke even this time, and wow, let's work on another trade tomorrow. That was hate all day trades, man. I like being in and out. Yeah, better luck next time tomorrow.